Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, let's jump right in. If you spend literally any time online these days, you've definitely bumped into the modern app development hustle culture. You know the one. Everyone's out there telling you that building apps is super easy, and more importantly, that it's your fast track to making a fortune. Well, today we're going to walk through a practical builder's guide to see what it actually takes to make an app right now, cutting straight through the hype and actually using AI to do the heavy lifting. But first, we really need to do a quick reality check on that whole getting rich quick narrative.
People love to advertise app building as this guaranteed, foolproof method to print money. But the irony here? YouTube itself wasn't even a profitable app until around 2014. Crazy, right? The reality of the industry today is that most apps just aren't profitable unless they're B2B, meaning business to business. Honestly, if you do end up building apps for a living, chances are you're going to be building them for a massive tech company or a bank at a standard 9-to-5 job.
So, the hilarious unvarnished truth is that you can absolutely drop out of school or quit your day job to build apps and literally just not make a living. Or, hey, you can make a great living, but you won't actually be building your own apps. So instead of chasing this impossible myth, let's focus our energy on something way better. Let's make an app that actually does something useful, just for fun, and because building things from scratch is absolutely the best way to learn.
Okay, Section 1. The Read Faster Idea. Solving a real problem.
We are going to solve a problem I know you've had, staring at a massive, unread PDF research paper on your laptop and just instantly getting bored. To fix this, we're going to use a specific technique called RSVP, which stands for Rapid Serial Visual Presentation. Instead of the traditional, slow method of dragging your eyes left to right to read a sentence, this technique flashes words right in the center of the screen really fast, just one or two at a time. It actually goes faster than you could say the words out loud. This cool little trick is going to be the entire core function of our new app.
Now, why is this so incredibly effective? Well, the fastest a normal human can read is usually around 250 words per minute. But by using the RSVP technique, you can instantly boost that to 350, 400, or even 500 words per minute. And the absolute best part? You can do this right now. You can achieve those speeds without any previous training whatsoever. It is literally like downloading an instant upgrade to your brain's processing speed.
So the crucial point here is figuring out exactly where our app fits into the market. Look, plenty of free RSVP apps already exist out there where you can just copy and paste some text. But almost none of them are both completely free and actually work on uploaded PDFs. That right there? That's our golden ticket. We're going to build the one that does, and we're simply going to name it Read Faster, because let's face it, half the top downloaded apps on the store lack creative names anyway, so why overcomplicate the whole shebang?
Moving on to Section 2, Startup Stages Explained. Aggressive Spending.
You know, the tech industry can be just hilariously absurd sometimes. To become one of those truly billion-dollar unicorn companies, startups go through these highly technical-sounding phases. Let's break them down. Pre-profit basically means they are aggressively losing outside investor money. Pre-revenue means they haven't even figured out how to charge people for the thing yet. Pre-product means they literally just have a PowerPoint presentation. And my personal favorite, pre-idea, means they have absolutely no clue what they're doing, but they know they want to use AI, which, let's be honest, is about 99% of startups right now. So honestly, just by having a concrete idea like Read Faster, you are already way ahead of the curve.
Right, let's hit Section 3, the anatomy of an app, front end and back end.
Before we just start blindly vibe coding, we need to really understand the basic building blocks of an application. Every single app has a user interface, or a front end. That's the buttons and screens you actually tap on. But some apps need a bit more under the hood. Think about Flappy Bird. That's an entirely front-end app. No user accounts, no global leaderboards. It just tracks your high score locally right there on your phone. Contrast that with something like Tinder. If you have users making accounts and swiping, you need a server-side framework, a backend. That backend server is what keeps track of passwords, matches, and all that data. Every time someone opens the app, the front end has to talk to the backend. Now, for our RSVP PDF reader, we are keeping it simple. We only need a front end.
The final piece of the app anatomy is packaging and publishing. This is exactly what it sounds like. It's the whole process of bundling up all that front-end code you wrote into a very specific format that an iOS phone, an Android device, or a web browser can actually read and execute. This is basically how the app crosses the finish line and finally gets into the hands of a real user.
Okay, Section 4. Building with AI, Google AI Studio.
We can go ahead and skip all the obsolete tools and just directly prompt in AI, like Claude, right inside Google AI Studio. But we have to tell the AI exactly what framework to build in.
The absolute secret sauce here is Kotlin Multiplatform architecture. It's a completely free framework by JetBrains, and it neatly splits your app into two perfect pieces. First, you have the shared logic. This is all the behind-the-scenes math, opening the PDF, sequencing the words, calculating the words per minute. You only write this code once. Second, you have the UI. Using Compose Multiplatform, you design your buttons and screens once, and they render natively and buttery smooth everywhere. You write one single code base, and it deploys directly to Android, iOS, desktop, and the web. It is just incredibly efficient.
To actually get this setup running, you'll want to go download a coding workspace called IntelliJ IDEA and grab the Kotlin Multiplatform plugin. Doing this automatically hands you the template and all the starter files, basically the entire skeleton of your app. And the best part? If you've never written the line of Kotlin before, just imagine traditional Java, but with 40% less code. It keeps everything remarkably clean and super manageable for beginners.
And finally, Section 5. Deploying for free, skipping the cloud trap.
Normally, in a professional setting, this is the part where you'd meticulously test your app for bugs. But we are going to boldly ignore all of that and push this thing straight to the live internet. Now, when you go to publish, Google really wants you to deploy straight to Google Cloud. They'll even dangle $300 of free Google Cloud credits right in front of your face. But you need to avoid the trap. Why? Because claiming those free credits still forces you to input your credit card information. And our goal here is to keep this entire process completely free with absolutely zero financial risk. So here is exactly how we bypass that trap using Vercel, which is a completely free hosting service. Step 1. Just hit the settings in AI Studio and sync your newly generated code directly to a GitHub repository. GitHub is basically just acting as our middleman here. Step 2. Go make a free Vercel account and click Start Deploying. Step 3. Paste the link to your GitHub repository straight into Vercel. You just follow the quick prompts, click the final deploy button, and boom, Vercel hosts your app on the web. Literally anyone across the world can now type in a link and access your app online.
Now, as we established a minute ago, our specific Read Faster app doesn't actually need a backend to store user data. But say you ever wanted to add user logins or save people's reading histories in a future update, you could easily do it using Firebase. It's basically Google's all-in-one service that handles databases, authentication, and even sending push notifications. And if you're using Google AI Studio, you literally just click Yes when it asks if you want to use Firebase, and your entire backend is basically done for you.
And there you have it. The app is done. Which leaves us with this final, very important question for you. Are you ready to LARP, live-action roleplay, as an actual software developer? You can use the app to finally conquer that unread PDF. You can share the link with your friends who probably won't care. Or, hey, you can slap it on your resume so you can get auto-rejected by a corporate AI screening system. Whatever you decide to do, you've just successfully leveraged AI to build and deploy a real, functioning tool for free. So, I'll leave you with this thought. If the barrier to creating functional, useful software has dropped this incredibly low, what other everyday problems are out there just waiting for you to solve them? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you in the next one.